Hello, I'm Sean D. Francis, and I'm here for part 6 of our How to Make a Homebrew D&D Campaign setting video series, which is actually walking us through the Campaign Builder Workbook. The first 5 parts has gone through our survey, collecting the basic information for our campaign setting, and now we're finishing up the detailed aspect of our village. So let's jump into it because it is taking a little bit longer than I thought it would to go through all this, and I'm sure it's my fault because I like to dilly-dally and go on tangents. So where we left off, we finished defining the structure of the village, like the places that the villagers gather and do stuff, and now we define the culture of the village. Is it a human village, an elvish village, the main religions, the main people that are there, that sort of thing. And then we're going to talk about the recent history and the ancient history, and then get into the adventure hooks around the village. And the recent history, what event had the most profound effect on the village? And this is recently. I'm going to say that the Captain Lierian is actually kind of new to her role, which may explain why she is still kind of aloof and doesn't quite understand her interaction with the village. She thinks she's there for the military aspect only and doesn't get that she's a leader of the people as well. So that could be part of her character arc. Her growth is understanding her role as a leader, not of just the military, but of the village as well. So we're going to say that recently it is the promotion of Captain Lierian to the role of leader. Who was affected by this event? The entire village. And what are the lasting effects of this event? Well, it is pushing the main conflict of the village, the community leader versus city leader conflict. So we have the conflict with village leaders. Ancient history. What was here before the village? And this is reminding us that all this stuff just didn't spring up overnight. Like there's always a reason why something is here. And I know, pardon me, I know we've mentioned as part of our adventure hook that there's a Fae circle. And that got me thinking about the Fae in general and their relationship to this land. And if there's a Fae circle, probably there was a Fae influence here, a bigger Fae influence. I'm going to say that this used to be, we have that weird rock outcropping as well. This is going to be once an exiled, the seat of an exiled, very Fae noble of some sort. So there was a Fae noble and exiled from the land of the Fae to this location and set up an exiled court. Unseelie. I don't know if I want to get into that kind of stuff, but that was what was here before. And the most notable event in or near the village around that time, we have the dragon attack, but that's just the story, and we could downplay that. I'm going to say that this was a site of a major fairy battle. And what are the signs of this event still experienced by the people in our land? That rock outcropping has something to do with it. I'm not sure what. Maybe that was caused by a spell. It could have been a giant rock column that one of the fairy mages created, and that rock outcropping is like its elbow sticking up out of the ground or something. But I'm just going to make a note of that. So there we have a concept of the history of the land. As we move into the adventure hooks, we have the dangerous forest. Obviously, we have a vast wilderness, and only a part of this forest is going to be the dangerous part of the forest. And why has no one visited this location recently? It's too deep into the woods. It's just not a path, a place that people need to go. So why would somebody visit this location now? Because they were asked to, or to find something. I'm not sure what the adventure hook is going to be just yet. We'll figure that out in the plot lines, but we know that I want something to do with the wolves, but the wolves in and of themselves aren't the adventure. I just want it connected to the dangerous forest somehow. What is there to challenge an adventure? So we have wild animals and something controlling the animals. What is there to reward an adventure? Now, why beyond a reward that somebody in the village would give them to go on this quest? What is out there that could be gathered? And if there's something or someone controlling the animals, there may be some magic treasure there. Who in the village knows about this location? We have Doc, who has been studying, getting drips and drabs of information, so he knows the most about that location. What are the geographic obstacles to this location? Well, we have some thick woods, maybe a ravine. And what are the dangers of traveling this location? The wolves. And general survival, wilderness survival. Yeah, again, we're not writing the adventure. We're just creating the hook and trying to wrap our minds around the adventure that's going to be occurring here. So we get to the Fey Circle. Why has no one visited this location recently? It's scary. There may be rumors and so there may be rumors of people disappearing, maybe children being kidnapped, something of that nature in regards to the Fey Circle. I love the stories of people wandering into Fey circles, fairy rings, and for them, they just spent a wild night with the fairies, but in the end, they were gone for like 10 years. So maybe something like that, maybe some time dilation kind of things, people wandering off, coming back, they didn't think any time had passed, but weeks have passed, that sort of thing. So why would somebody visit this location now? I mentioned missing children, and maybe that could be a thing. That's also a great adventure hook. It motivates people, motivates players well. So we can say a missing child. What is there to challenge an adventure? Well, we're going to have assorted Fae, good and bad Fae there. What is there to reward an adventure? Well, we have the treasure of the Fae. Who in the village knows about this location? That's a good one. This is going to be, could be one of our main NPCs. For now, I'm just going to say it's Callan. What are the geographic obstacles to get to this location? We're going to have the forest. And we're going to have a magical barrier. The Fae like to cast spells to send people astray. So it's not just going to be an easy wander into the area. There's going to be some magic trickery involved to get there. And what are the dangers of traveling to this location? Well, we still have those wild wolves out there. And then we have some Fae magic that's going to be a factor. Okay, and then the caverns, our third adventure hook. Why has no one visited this location recently? It's far into the mountains, so it's definitely not convenient. Why would somebody visit this location now? Mysterious sightings. So maybe there's hunters or something who's seen some activity up in those mountains. What is there to challenge an adventure? Harpies. I've already, in my mind, I got high in the mountains. It's kind of an airy. I like the idea of harpies as a very traditional fantasy monster. So there's a nest of harpies up there. What is there to reward adventure? Harpy treasure. I don't know what harpy treasure would be like, but harpy treasure. Who in the village knows about this location? This will be good to get the players in conflict with Lieutenant Toriak. Not conflict, but in conversation with Lieutenant Toriak. So that's the NPC who knows the most about it. Maybe he's the one who collected the reports about the sightings in the wilderness. So what are the geographic obstacles to get to this location? And since it's a cavern up in the mountains, I'm thinking that we're going to have some mountain climbing. And then the wilderness is also an obstacle to it. And the dangers along the way, we still have the wolves out there. But then there's going to be other mountain creatures that could be encountered. As random encounters or planned encounters along the way to get to the caverns. And there we have. We'll detail this out to a point where you can turn these into adventures. This is just the nugget, the core in which we're building out the adventure. So we'll work from this in the plotline section and turn them into more full-fledged adventures. Probably won't build out the full adventure, but give a sense of what else is going to go into this, how to initiate the adventure, and what the actual reason for the adventure is beyond what we have listed here. These are just the locations and what could be happening at those locations. So this ends this video. I would love to know how you are enjoying this, if you're enjoying this, if you want additional information about the Campaign Builder Workbook. I would love to know if you're using this tool. I would love to know how you build your campaign settings, what methodology, what process you put into it. And let's connect, let's talk. You can contact me, Sean, at SeanDFrancis.com, or via Twitter at SeanDFrancis. And we'll see you in the next video.